Chapter 33. The Captain's Fall. Morgath entered as though summoned from the storm itself, broad, unyielding, his expression as severe as the blade strapped to his side as we walked the halls. His presence alone shifted the atmosphere, and for the first time since Severus vanished, I felt the smallest thread of reassurance. I waited outside the captain's office while he was detained. It was Morgath's bidding, I gave it. And then we proceeded back to the king, prisoner in tow. Morgath didn't so much as blink. He turned, his armored boots striking the stone floor like the toll of a death knell. When he reached the door, he barked orders, and within moments, 2 guards dragged the captain into the king. The man still wore the confidence of his rank, but the color drained from his face the instant he saw Morgath following him in. He knew. I watched him closely, every twitch of his eyes, every shallow breath. He weighed his options, and to my grim satisfaction seemed to recognize the futility of resisting Morgath. The man's reputation was legend, unflinching, unbreakable, as loyal to the king as blood to the vein. The captain's bravado cracked only slightly. He attempted a laugh, thin and sharp as glass. "My king, surely there's been some misunderstanding." "Silence," Morgath cut him off, his voice a steel blade. I stepped forward, letting the letters drop heavily onto the table once more. "No misunderstanding. Your treachery is inked here, signed by your own hand. Every word damns you." The king's eyes blazed as he looked upon his once trusted soldier, betrayal etched deep into the lines of his face. "You have shamed this throne." The captain's mouth opened as if to reply, but Morgath's hand closed around his shoulder, and with a single squeeze the man wilted, knowing resistance would only mean broken bones before his trial began. And then, as if the night had not soured enough, the guard who had stood at the captain's side, the very same voice I had overheard in the stables whispering of Severus' fate, was dragged in by 2 more soldiers. His protests spilled like bile. I was only following orders. I knew nothing of his plans. "Lies," I said coldly, stepping into his line of sight. "I heard you, every vile word. You spoke freely of what would be done to her, with your captain, yet you did nothing. You sought no help for her, nor did you tell anybody about the plans. You knew enough to damn yourself." The man paled, his lips trembling as his excuses died in his throat. The king lifted his hand, and silence fell. "Both of them shall face justice." His gaze shifted to Morgath. "Secure them until questioning." The room felt heavier, as though the walls themselves had absorbed the betrayal that had festered in their ranks. Yet my thoughts were not of these men, nor their punishment. My thoughts were with her, Severus, lost in the desert, in the hands of those who would destroy her spirit if I delayed too long. As the guards hauled the captain and his man away, I clenched my fists until my nails bit into my palms. Time was bleeding out, and every heartbeat carried her further from me. I turned to the king, voice low, urgent. "Now you see the truth. Now you know the enemy was in your own house. Do not let me waste another moment. Tell me where she has been taken. Let me go." My tone was pleading, heart-aching. The storm rattled the palace windows as if echoing my demand. The king's hand slammed down, and the small, brittle sound of it on the table seemed to crack the room open. "Begin the questioning," he commanded, voice raw with something like grief made iron. "Now, use whatever means necessary. The princess's life is at stake." The words hung between us like a verdict. I felt something cold and bright click into place behind my ribs. I understood the logic. Delay could be fatal, but the instruction opened a chasm in me I had no wish to see widened. Whatever means necessary. The phrase tasted like ash. Morgath did not hesitate. There was no flourish of theatre in his movement, only the terrible certainty of a man who knew how to serve an order and how to carry it out. He met the king's eye, inclined his head once, and then turned.